welcome to grind number 40. Happy Fridays as a result. Oh, and yes, I'm still here. I'm in a situation this week where I need to record more than one episode at a time, so I am. And as a result, I'm still in the Nether trying to find my way back to the Mushroom Island. I exhausted my supplies, but I've seemed to gathered a large amount of netherrack as a result. It took me a while back there. I got a little bit lost trying to find the way I was supposed to go. But I have, and now I'm just going to follow the pebble trail all the way to the other end, maybe do a little mining on the other end, you know, to sort of start bridging the road back in the other direction, and so on and so forth. At some point I ought to consider putting down a portal out here somewhere and maybe doing some mining in the middle. That would help. See, look at this. There's the marker. Where's the next marker? This has happened a few times. I mean, this seems like a good place to look for the next marker, but I don't see it. Hello, next marker. Where you be? Not supposed to be this far away. It's supposed to be, each marker is supposed to be easily within sight of the other. Oh, frigidaboo. Let's see. So there's the last one. Is it marking like a... No. The last one confused me because it ended up marking the top of a tunnel, which was not immediately obvious because everything is the same color. Crap. This doesn't make sense. Ultimately, what it wants to do is go that way. So why don't I see it? You guys see anything? Anything at all? Anything at all? Indeed. Come on. I see no other marker. Suppose I could have gone running through this open area and then forgot to put one down? Oh, man. Let's put down something a little different, but obviously a marker. Okay. I mean, that should stand out upon approach anyways. Well, I suppose I should get into the daily topic, and I thought I might talk about the debate engine, the bias buster I'd been talking about. But I sort of already covered it in a previous episode. Not yesterday, but in a previous one. Oh, I see what looks like a marker. Okay, let me put this down then, just for future reference. Can I get there from here? Is this even correct? I mean, because it's sort of bending off in the wrong direction. What is this? So yeah, I missed another tunnel, didn't I? Let's see where it comes out. Okay. Okay, so what I need to do is something a little more obvious. Okay, that should do it. So in that case, I should reclaim my... Oh, screw it. I don't care about the other marker. So... by extreme tangentialism, I don't know. If I was going to talk about the debate, the bias buster thingy, then we'd effectively be talking about web development. Though it's almost accidental or unimportant, perhaps is the right word, that it would be done, via a web service app. What's really important is that it's basically a social algorithm, a way of combining algorithmic thought to social issues, and that's something I really want to personally explore, and maybe even, I don't want to, I guess, making a living off. I mean, to a certain extent I already make a living off of it, but based on a topic that is somebody else's idea and concern, and I mostly agree with anyway, so that doesn't bother me per se. But I do have a few concerns of my own that I wouldn't mind being able to address before I get old, decrepit, and then before singularity comes along and makes me live forever. That's a whole other topic. Though I think I've covered singularity in the past, haven't I? It's probably worth talking more about in the future. Anyways, you know what I haven't seen in forever is any kind of fortress. Another fort. Ooh. Well, point being, if I was going to be talking about web development anyways, how about talking about a different project, something else that I think is worth pursuing, but is not really about. It's not a product that can be sold, so it's a little safer to talk about. You know, it's not like a game idea or a novel idea that I have, where if I talk about it, someone could easily tweak and steal and claim it for their own, and you know the sort of things that unfortunately do happen. Not necessarily to a complete unknown like myself, but then again, there are many unknowns who remained unknown because the material was stolen and someone else got famous off it. So that's the thing I worry about. But this is a circumstance where the opposite is kind of true. If it was stolen, it would still be good for the world, which is one of my goals in life, is to be good for the world, better than bad for it, I suppose you could say. And in this, oh, I see markers. Okay, I need a bridging marker apparently. How about Oh. As a web or software developer, I mean, it's been mostly web, so I kind of default to saying that. But it's really a little more, not specialized, but a little more deep. There's more to it than, hello, that's cool, than just, oh, speaking of which, whatever. I'm trying to butter myself up, apparently. But, oh, that's right. We took some avenues through here, did we not? On our way out. Actually, these episodes, of Caffeine and I exploring and then coming back this way, and me swearing up a storm, which will require lots of editing, I still have to do all the editing to put those episodes out. So she will see that, or she'll see this before anybody sees that one. That's one of the reasons why I haven't been recording very much lately. By the way, if you were wondering, Caffeine was, I have such a backlog of material to get through first, on top of all these things that I have to record. That's a nice looking. I kind of wish some of this stuff would sort of erupt into the overworld, not just the Nether. But anyways, the software development or technology in general is very lacking in unionization. And I realize we currently exist in an environment where people think unions are bad, which is unfortunate because they completely take for granted things that they're currently losing as we speak. Things like the weekend and the 40-hour maximum work week and such stuff like that. Things that we now think are normal were actually brought to us by unionization, by working people gathering together and standing up for basic worker dignity and time off and various things that for 40 years, 50, 60 years before union busting really set in, made the nation a much healthier, happier place, and frankly did nothing to harm business. Business thrived on this. They had to be more responsible, but the responsibility paid off in ways that even business took for granted. And they've gotten greedy, and now they've trying to dismantle all these somewhat expensive procedures and regulations, and as a result, the economy has started to tank pretty much by default. Now, all that aside, that's not the over... Oh man, I thought you were running for me. When we tried to leave here, my swearing storm was about the fact that I had run afoul of those guys, and the affoulement... Oh, here we go. The affoulement just kept spreading. I was getting so angry. These are little pillars of mine trying to finish off the job so that they'd stop being angry with me. And instead, each new angering made them, you know, some new one on the periphery more angry. Oh yeah, did you see this? This is cool. It works, but it's busted. Anyways, not to go too far off field on the topic. Jeez, here we are. So I haven't done a whole lot of construction here, but I intend to. As you can see, this much I did. How's my... I don't have enough room. Is there a way down over here? Oh, one way or another there's a way down. Yeah, here we go. Ooh, I have a mild headache. Well, actually more than mild now. Oh, and I've run out of tea. Let me think about this a little bit. Basically, technology and specifically software and IT and stuff like that, zero. Absolutely zero unionization. And we are, while talented and very experienced, some are definitely more mobile than others, but it's very difficult to break into the field lately. The amount of education... Now, I'm going... I think I'm losing my mind on this topic. Hold on. I'm definitely going weird afield. Let's put this in place. Remind me that actually... I suppose I can do this. I'll have to have a silk touch to ever recover this, but that's okay. Can I get up from here? Yes, okay, good. Alright, I have access to my stuff. Very good. I'm probably not going to need this underground. What do we got? Power 1. No need for swords. No need for axe. I'll have to remember not to leave some of this stuff. Ooh, look at these two. I have to try to repair those. How many levels? I probably don't have an anvil here yet. Let's see. Speed. My food supply is fine. Put some of this stuff away. What's over here? Raw minerals. Okay, I don't need this right now. I don't have enough, though, to continue the road backwards. But it wasn't as far as I worried it was. I thought I was only like a... Ooh, obsidian. I thought I was much further out than I turned out to be. Let's see. Put that away. I want water breathing up the yazoo. I probably won't need this downstairs. Put that in the toolbox here. This and this I want. I probably don't need this. This, no, no, no. Okay. Okay. Well, I had to stop myself because I might end up misspeaking, because software development right now is actually one of the stronger careers you can have in the face of what is a pretty bad economy overall. I wish I had aqua affinity. I'm not sure if water breathing will help with any of this at all, but we'll find out. So, ow, my head. I gotta think about it. Be that as it may. Okay, so it won't let me see. Ah, but that does. Excellent. Look at this. There's nothing... There's no clay to speak of. This looks like clay. Yep. There's a bit more. I'm going to be doing this pretty much through the next episode, I think. Man, tell me I'm going to have more than just this. Oh, man. Really? Oh, wow. It does go way the heck out there. I hope I haven't completely wasted my... There's some over here. I'll... This is kind of unfortunate. Well, what am I getting at? What am I getting at? What I want to see is a more tightly knit developing community. And it doesn't not necessarily... Not just software, but hardware, Peripheral stuff like there you go. It took a while. There's so many talents that are necessary to really get these people together and a project underway. So it might not even be necessarily about software itself. It could be an art project, writing, starting a business. I don't care. If it's creative and it needs multiple talents, I want to see a network formed that allows people to search for each other or connect to each other by talent and by skill and by experience or even by inexperience, because one of the things that is lacking and is quite hard to hire around is the fact that people who don't have experience can't find jobs. And if they can't find jobs, they can't get experience. And then the industry is hurt because there aren't enough people to fill the positions you need. But the people who have the positions aren't willing to hire people who might need some training. So a network like this, I would hope, would even give a certain safe, obviously, priority to people who are in need of experience. Let's see. Can I do anything to fill that hole in? Because that's kind of ugly. Well, what I have been thinking about this project for 15 years or more, and I haven't done a damn thing. And part of the reason I haven't done a damn thing is because I'm living paycheck to paycheck and have been for my entire career. I make good money compared, to many, but it's still, considering the work moved me to the DC area, it's barely enough to get by. I have to stress about every paycheck and every bill. So where was I going with that? It's that sort of pressure really cuts into one's enthusiasm and time when it comes to sort of venturing out from that and improving upon one's abilities and stuff. And that's not a good excuse at all. However, having a good support network and or a lack of fear, like if your project fails or if you need to if you need to take time off, like sabbatical or something, to be able to pursue new interests and new skill sets and stuff like that, and your work's not your day job is not forward-looking enough to understand that benefits them to allow you to do that too, and you never have the time or the money to pursue it, the fear of starving and not being on the street is going to keep you from ever engaging. Most people anyways. And we don't need to... Basically, we need more involvement, and that would be easier to get if people didn't have to be terrified of the idea of what happens if things don't work out perfectly. And that's not the environment we have right now, and I'd like to fix that. And I think or believe that through... Oh, look at that sky. That's because of the night vision, I think. Look at that. I like that. There's probably worlds where this wouldn't be infeasible in terms of what a night sky would look like. What is this? That's sand. Sand is useful, but not what I'm looking for right now. Well, so I own this this company, sort of, basically. It's not terribly official, but I own the name. And God, I could complain. This business called Two Cows. Noticed I had bought the domain name a very, very long time. I've owned this domain name forever. But within like a couple of weeks of buying the .com version, at the time I had very little money and it was a lot more expensive back then. Two Cows just through a spider or some, automated script, registered the .net and .org versions, didn't even check to see if I wanted them first, just auto-bought them, and put them on lists so that people who would never have thought of the name themselves could buy it. And they did, and I think one of them is using it for something that I kind of like, so I've never bothered them about it. But the other one has never used it. It's become like one of those domains that just sits there relinking to stuff as an ad pad. I don't know what to call it, cache holding. it bugs me that they pulled that trick on me. But I still own the name. I have all previous art, and I can prove it going back 15, 18 years. I can't even think anymore. However long this has been going on. And regardless, the idea, was E as in electronic, or, sort of E-how dog. The various things that you kind of take for granted. Now, lately, like iPad, and it seems to be more popular. But the idea is, the imagery, the talent, the mages, the magi of electronic thinking, I guess you could say. It's a bit over dramatic, but it's a good name. It's a short name, which is hard to come by these days. And I own it, and the idea behind it, and I intend to make good on it one of these days. But the idea isn't, though it would obviously help me, which is one of the reasons why I'm interested in doing it, but the idea is, and this was before there was any such word as cloud computing, cloud hosting, did not exist at the time. But now that the word does exist, this is highly applicable to the concept, but it's cloud networking, where people who are members sort of indicate what their skills are, indicate what their availability are, what their rates are, what their interests are, and oh, look at that. That's cool. I just busted into a cavern. Neat. Maybe I should mark that. But, and what happens is when any of them have coalesced an interesting idea that has some merit, they reach out into the cloud per se. Sky's blinking. My time's getting thin. They reach out into the cloud, this network of people, to fill in the gaps that are needed, and they all take part and they all profit from the idea, but they don't necessarily form a permanent company around it. Do I still? Nope, my time's run out on that too. I think I'll call it quits anyways, but let me just get this much. So I'm trying to design the network that supports all this, the talent cloud, and on a more legal level, trying to figure out how it would work and how this can offer its membership a certain level of personal security against the rigors of, what happens if I get fired, or, I become redundant at work, things like that. How'd I do? Could be better. But I can kick around and do more of this later. So that's one of my project ideas, is to create this network. And the reason why I feel somewhat safe talking about it is, I already own the name. No one's going to be able to take that. And I already have a lot of previous art, which would protect me in terms of like copyrights and stuff like that. But also, I am very much closer than anybody else into actually implementing it. And even if some big name comes along and implements it, as long as it's true to form, as long as it actually does what I want this to do, then everybody involved benefits. And I can join it, and I benefit. And so it's not quite to the level of this other project I have in mind, but it is essentially a please steal this idea, except if you don't, I'll just do it first, that's all. Because it's, like I said, it's about making things better and offering a means by which interesting projects can be brought to life more safely and more quickly than they might otherwise. Especially with people who are trying somehow desperately to keep, pay their rent and put food on the table, might have to compromise the quality of a product or abandon it because a modest job that is insecure comes up. It might last for a little while, but one of the agreements made is you can't work on anything else, and then all enthusiasm is lost, and it just crashes and burns from there. Clay. So, that's what I'm thinking. That's my idea. And it's very low-hanging fruit in terms of the things I'm working on. I already have a repository set up to support it. I'm trying to get a few people I already know to sort of join in to working, or not working on it, but the network sort of exists in a quasi-format on Git or GitHub anyway. So one of the things I'm trying to get people to do is start participating there. Hello, meat. So, I don't know. It's a thought. It's a process. Oh. It's a process. Do I have any more? Oh, I have tons. Okay, good. And that's the topic for today. So I will let you go. I will wish you a grand weekend. And hope you come again next week for more inane ramblings and inconsequential gaming. All right. Have a good one and be good.